Okay, nerds, welcome back to another vintage video. Today we're playing vintage for a change, and we're going to play mono white. So this is the list that won Eternal Weekend US by Jeremy Henry, so congrats to him. And yeah, this is it. This is the list. 60 cards in the main, 15 in the board. Just 3 seasoned Dungeoneers down here, and I think the slot that they've made space for is a second March of Otherworldly Light. So not too heavy on the Void Mirrors in the main. Um, -1 initiative threat, +1 march. Gives you a bit more interaction in game one, I guess, is the plan there. Sideboard, the usual like 38 cards for Bazaar, 4 plows, another Void Mirror, and a first Null Rod. Sorry, not another Null Rod. I guess you got the 4 Conquerors though, right? So more of that effect. And then the rest of the deck is just 3 mana creatures which come in and do some sort of lock. So we've got 12 prison pieces here, plus the 3 artifacts, plus the Chancellors, plus the Chalice. And then you've got the clock in terms of 4 White Plumes, 3 seasoned Dungeoneers. So pretty cool stuff. We're going to run it through the league because it's now, obviously just the best deck in the format. So let's go give it a go. I'll see you for round one. Okay, then round one, we're on the play against Mage Whiny, who we've played a bit in the past, but I don't know if they've got a specific deck that they play. So our opener is not very good. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this because I'm not doing anything on turn one other than getting Wasteland and losing. So I'm going to ship this one away. Opponents revealed a Lurrus. We've revealed a lot of stuff. So I think we'll keep this. And then I'll pitch probably a Conqueror. So let's go done there. Reveal this guy. So their first spell costs more. How did you sequence? What's the line? So I guess I just play the Archon, right? Let's go Pearl, Mox Archon. And then if we draw land next turn, then we get a Conqueror. But that's all we've got, right? But get this stuff in play. But then I can play the Archon first, because if I play the Conqueror first, I'm just never playing that Archon, right? So Flooded Strand comes in tapped. I think they could be Doomsday, but no, but they've got a Lurrus, so we'll play our Witch, and then we'll just put the Conqueror into play and just send. So Scalding Tarn, and now it's just pretty tough for them to have anything for a hot minute. So their Flooded Strand land's probably going to come in tapped. Their Scalding Tarn land's probably going to come in tapped. That's a Witch Enchanter. We'll just play it as a land. Might be wrong, but it's hard to come up with a series of events where I end up playing that, right? Actually, no, I think I like holding that actually, because if they kill the Conqueror and I top deck Ancient Tomb, then yeah, maybe it was better too. But hey, never mind. Our opponent's up against it, but they've got access to white mana, so they've got access to plows if they want them. So this could just get an island here as well. Yeah, basic island gets through the Archon tax. Bauble runs into the Chancellor, Bauble dies, and then we've got like a Time Walk or something. No, just to pass the turn. Okay. So let's send for 3, because this could be the turn we get plowed on something. No. Okay. So Flooded Strand is presenting lethal if they use it. This is the Time Walk now, which makes sense. Plays another Flooded Strand, fetches to get something. Maybe like a Volk, yeah. Looks like and smells like a Volk deck, doesn't it? So I think it's just Lurrus PO. Portable Hole doesn't work, but I think they play a main deck Plow. And then there could be a main deck bounce spell like Chain or Sink into Stupor or both. But even if they lead on that, then they have to bounce the Archon first. Flame of Anor on the Archon. And then fetch Plow. No, so no plays there. I wouldn't mind a Mana Source. Okay, that's also cool though. So let's get him for 3. Because if they plow this guy, I might just redeploy another one. So they go to 2. And then I will just roll out the Void Mirror because it just makes their life even harder again. They've been through 1 flame, so that's 1 shatter down. And if they need to force of will this, then their fetch land dies. Opponent's at 1. Void Mirror in. Main phase, stock up, looking for a plow, I presume. Or just a concession, possibly. Yeah, they found the concession in there, so that's cool. So what are we up against? I think Lurrus PO, so I'm going to go with these 2. They could have... I don't think they can have a post-board Lavinia. And then I think maybe the Chancellors are pretty weak. Or the Chalice is weak on the draw. Let's think. My lands aren't under threat, but I don't really have lands to cut in this list. The clock's really good. Chancellor can be interesting at times. Where's the Chancellor good in this? They just play Moxen, right? So I think I might just cut the Chancellors, 2 of the Chancellors, and ship it in. I'm not expecting too much in terms of creatures. It's just going to be a 4th Aer Lingus play. Okay, so 3 lands. Vexian Bauble into Void Mirror into Anointed Peacekeeper. Could be good, could be too slow. It might be one where it's really good on the play. I think I'm going to try it. I'm not too convinced, but I like the idea. Our lands are safe though, so that's quite nice. So like my Witching Chances are going to get wastelanded by this opponent. My planes isn't going to get stripped. My strip mine can just sit and play and wait for an Urza Saga or something like that. Okay, basic island to lead into a brainstorm on 1. So I assume they're already rolled up with Mox Lorien. This is Mishra's Bauble, okay. Mox Opal. And that's that, okay. Do we want to strip them? I'd like a Mox of my own. Ancient Tomb. So I can just play Void Mirror. And I believe I will. I'm expecting there'll be an upkeep Lorien cycle or something like that. But Void Mirror should mean that this Mox Opal never taps for mana. Oh, they've got a Vexing Bauble of their own. Into an archive. And then they portable hold my Void Mirror. And Bauble me. Okay, so their Opal can tap for mana. They draw a card here. I draw a Ruby. I can't do that because of Vexing Bauble. Do I want to see their hand and go from there? I think that could be cool. So Peacekeeper you interact with your payoff. And then next turn I can still not do loads. Or this could just be strip mine. I think Peacekeeper's better just because then I get to disenchant the Opal next turn. Let's go with the Peacekeeper. I think I still want to name their payoff, right? So what's this? This is Lorien revealed as the payoff. 3 to cycle, 3 to like 7 to cast. Or I could name Mana Crypt, but then they still get to double spell Mana Crypt into Thunder Trap. Or I could name Thunder Trap, but then they just cast Lorien. I think I named Lorien revealed. I think that's fine. And then next turn, we get to disenchant their Mox or their Mana Crypt. I guess land plays Lurrus. Oh no, they can't play Mana Crypt, can they? I guess they go through the Vexing Bauble. But going through Vexing Bauble means I get to strip them and shatter them next turn, disenchant them off the Witch Enchanter. So it can all come tumbling down next turn if they do go through the Vexing Bauble, because it lets me double spell with a Vexing Bauble. Okay, so Mana Crypt comes in. This will then be a Thunder Trap, I presume. They cycle Lorien for 3 mana, get a Volcanic, play a Thunder Trap. Okay, so this all turned out quite nicely for the opponent. Oh, Time Walk is not cool for the home team. What a draw. So they've got a Thunder Trap in hand, plus 2 other cards. One of them's a Mox Sapphire. So we can Thunder Trap and find... Oh, they're going to double Thunder Trap. And they pick up Stock Up. And Force of Will. This hasn't gone well. Okay. So let's go Mox Ruby. Vexing Bauble. I'm going to Conqueror. And now I'm going to strip their Meticulous Archive so that they can't plow me. And then we can bash for 3. That Conqueror was a fantastic draw. So now they win the Crypt Flip. Did they find a land in all of that? No, they just scoop match. They just scoop match. Nice. So, lucky top deck. There's a chance that we were able to get back in some way there, though. Like disenchant the Portable Hole or something. I'm not sure. Disenchant the Mana Crypt. But I think if we pass back and didn't top deck Clarion Conqueror, their stock up's probably going to seal our fate. So, lucky stuff, but we are 1-0. Okay, round 2, we're up against Burger Mo. We're on the play. And this is a nice turn 1 Anointed Peacekeeper, right? With a Chancellor behind. And then we can march them dead a few times. So I think we'll keep this one. So that's the Chancellor of the Annex. They've no Lurrus from the opponent. I think possibly Shops, possibly a mono white Mirror. Okay, so we'll lead on Chrome Mox. We'll pitch the Chancellor. Play a Mox Ruby. Play a Wasteland. And then Anointed Peacekeeper. Okay, so what does this do? So I guess I just name... Do I name Nullrod or do I name one of their creatures? I've got 3 mana already. Their creatures are quite big. I could just name Mox a Mox of some variety and force them to play the Nullrod or the Patchwork. I kind of want this Scrawling Crawler in play at some point. Maybe Nettlecyst is just too big, but I've got I've got a march for the Nettlesys token, and then they'll rod it out of existence anyway. But it might be thick for a moment. We could patchwork. I'm not sure. Like the scrolling crawl, I think, is my way into the game. Oh. And then, but let's say I name Mox Jet, then I just go Caracas Sapphire, Nullrod. I didn't strip your Caracas, so maybe I just name a Mox and just hope it works. But then what? You pay 2 mana and just play a Mox, and I fucking lose the Rod the following turn. But then I'll have the March to get around the Rod with. I think I'm supposed to name Nullrod. I think my white mana is too precious. But then they're going to play a Nettlesys on 1. I'm going to name Mox Sapphire. Right, let's just go Mox Sapphire. Stymie their development, and if they go land Mox, then... If they go land Mox Rod, then I just get to strip them. Because of Caracas, and then they've got no mana in a Null Rod. Or 1 mana in a Null Rod. Like, if they draw one of their multi-mana lands, then we're in for a rough ride. But it's weird. I need them to get. I don't want them to get to Null Rod, but I want them to get to Scrolling Crawler. It just felt like them playing the Rod is just as bad for them as it is for me. So Caracas is in. They cast a Mox Jet. Oh, I had a Chancellor trigger as well. Okay, fine. So let's play Mox Emerald. Let's strip your Caracas. Let's march, cast this, target this guy. Okay. Say done. And then attack for 3. I forgot about the Chancellor trigger completely. My opponent didn't, which is a shame. Ancient Tomb. Null Rod. Okay. I'm going to attack for 3. And Patchwork Automaton. Back to me. Cavern of Souls. We'll just name Cleric. In for 3. And our opponent's pretty taxed on the number of Ancient Tomb taps they've got here. So Mox Jet's gone, Null Rod's gone. Sapphire's still in hand, Cracker's gone. That's a 2-2. You can't tap your Ancient Tomb again. I'm going to play a White Plume just to make my opponent concede the game. Nice. Okay, so shops on the draw. The plows are probably good. Are the Archons ever good? They're quite funny. If you're trying to rod me like that. I don't think Chalice is good. I think Void Mirror is excellent. Chancellors are questionable, aren't they? But when you're on the draw, they're like your best card. I think the Chancellors go though. Then we have more Void Mirrors. And maybe this is one of those matchups where the actual way through is more White Plumes than it is Archons, if you know what I mean. Like more heavy aggro than locking them out of the game. I know we locked them out there, but I feel like that was more luck than judgment. As I'm sure Bergamo is telling us in chat right now, actually. But never mind. So this hand's interesting. I don't think it's good enough though, is it? On the draw, turn 2 Archon. I'm already dead. Yeah, let's get out of here. This is also not convincing, but probably a keep. And then we'll send back Clarion Conqueror. Archon of Emeria. We'll keep Clarion Conqueror. Ancient Tomb, Mox Jet, Mox Sapphire, Lodestone Golem. Okay. Into a Chalice on 0. Let's play a Plains then. Another 4-drop. Golos. So that kills me. I'm pretty sure I can't overcome turn 1, Lodestone turn 2 Golos into an Urza Saga. Now I'm forced to strip mine. I can't resolve a Lotus. I take 5 here. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna play a spell this game. Okay, that's fine. I can't beat the Saga, and then I'll just be dead to the beats because I won't be able to cast a Clarion Conqueror due to the attacks on Lodestone Golem next turn. So this time we're on the play, and we'll bring these two back in. And what will we cut? That's a very good question. Maybe Peacekeepers aren't as good. I like this. I like this. There's that weird Null Rod thing, though. Null Rod and Conqueror thing. Where if we've both got rods, then one of us is wrong. But I feel like on the play, my rods are incredible, right? Or maybe that's not true, actually, because I've got less multi-mana lands than them. So maybe their rods are a lot better than my rods. I mean, look at this hand. Their rods are a lot better than my rods. Right. We keep, though. And I think I'm going to go Archon of Emeria. Force that Ancient Tomb to come in tapped. Before they cast Null Rod. Bojuka Bog. Interesting. And then a Mox Pearl for the turn. We flip the Crypt. I'd like a White Plume. That's a Wasteland. That's still quite cool. Let's keep the peace, first of all. See what we're keeping them off of. They float 1. And then cast Dismember on my Archon. Okay. Alright, Lotus Rod Sphere. I can't get away from that rod, can I? So maybe just so Anointed Peacekeeper. So whatever I do, they can always cast the rod. They can go Sphere Rod. So I think I just need Wormcoil Engine. That might not be good enough either. Well, let's just hope we've drawn a white land by then. Let's name Wormcoil Engine. Ooh, Wormcoil Engine. Let's go Wormcoil Engine first. I don't think I want to waste their bog. I think I want to waste them next turn on their Ancient Tomb. So that's 5. This is Golos into tab, that's upsetting. That's 7 mana. I wonder what's going on. I'm aiming for this multi-mana land with my Wasteland. They play the Rod, which is expected. The Lotus is in play. I flip a Crypt. And now I wasteland your Paducah Bog, your Ancient Tomb, sorry. And now you've got no mana either. Surprised they didn't play the Sphere and the Rod in the same turn. Wasteland lands, they're on 2 mana. We're flipping Crypts in for 3 again. Opponent's at 10. Opponent has a Patchwork Automaton. Nothing else though. I've not got a lot, to be honest with you. In for 3. So the Sphere will come down this turn at 2/2. Oh, Stonecoil Serpent for 2, which kind of ruins my day. I need a Plains. That's not a Plains. So I can't attack this turn. Strip Mine makes 3 mana. Cast a Sphere. Patchwork still doesn't come in. And we can't draw a land. Let's get rid of a Clarion Conqueror, I assume. This looked good for a second, and then it looked awful. Discard the Emerald. Inventor's Fair. They start gaining life back. I'm just dying to this. So Cavern of Souls doesn't do anything, but it does eat a wasteland. It means I'm not discarding cards, right? So what's the card I want to name? Just Cleric, I guess. Can't attack. They gain a life. They have a Caracas. And a Lodestone Golem. I just can't ever cast spells this game. I think they're just letting me die to my crypt, to be honest. Ancient Tomb doesn't cast anything because there's 2 taxing effects in play. But I think I'll still play the Ancient Tomb. I don't know what's gained from not playing the Ancient Tomb. But I think this game's going to end in this turn cycle. Our opponent refusing to attack has given us a lot of draws, but I think we're done here. So I'm obliged to trade with the Lodestone, right, and then take 6, and I'm on crypt flips, and then I can't ever stabilize this board. So never mind. Interesting game. We held the wasteland for a turn, and that really did put our opponent in a hole. But we just didn't draw the lands out of there. However, on the opposite side of that, I could have played Archon this game, and then my opponent would have always been in that hole, right? So maybe a missequence on my part. Maybe a missequence on my part. Okie dokie, round 3. We're up against Kazuhiro Nakamura. They've got a little frog one. Vintage Challenge Championship Week Top 32. Very tasty. We're on the play. We've got some white cards. Chance. Oh, God, they're big. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Hit them with the double Chancellor. And then play the Peacekeeper. So just lead on planes, though. Land, Lotus. Oh, leading on planes was horrendous. Although they'd need like triple Forcible to get out from here, right? So. Or double Forcible. Maybe that's what they're going for. Mox Ruby, Coveted Jewel, Mishra's Workshop, Tolarian Academy, Trinosphere. Let's. So you can name Mox Ruby, right? So just go Workshop Trinosphere, and then we bolt their land, or we can just name the Coveted Jewel. I think I'm gonna name Mox Ruby. Might give up my hand a bit, but if they go Workshop Ruby, I'd be shocked. And then next turn we can strip mine their workshop. Force of Will pitching Metamorph. They play the Trinosphere as expected, and they've just got an island in hand basically. Archon of Emeria, don't care. Attack for 3. And the Mox Ruby just kind of Stone Rains the Academy by 1. And with the Trinosphere in play, I believe that's a 5-mana Ruby. And we've just got to hope that this holds for the next 7 turns. But maybe it's not a 5-mana Ruby, maybe it's a 2-mana Ruby. Yeah, I think it's a 2-mana Ruby. They find a workshop, which is horrendous news for the home team. They play the 3-mana Ruby. And now they've got 3-mana again. So we'd love a Wasteland. That's a Chrome Mox, which I can't cast. And then they've got 6 mana to cast this duel with. And we aren't in great shape. Maybe Jewel was the name. I think I like Ruby as the name, though. Just because that is the one that turns on their academy. And we know the play pattern that's coming is just Workshop, Trinosphere, strip your Workshop and pray to catch you under it. This time we just weren't fortunate enough to dodge. We didn't draw a land, our opponent did. This Academy's going to tap for a lot of mana in a moment. I think the next card draw spell we can concede to, but you see if this happens, and then I get their Ruby, get their Jewel. Unless they've drawn a Sink, and they have. Okay. Cool, that's fine. I think that's good. I can't play spells. They've drawn their Sink. So let's go Rod and Void Mirror. And then we'll cut just Dungeoneers, I presume. Do I need a couple of plows actually because of their worm coils? At which point maybe. So March is going to fight their mana. But if I'm bringing a plow, maybe a March can go. Everything else fights their mana as well, really effectively, doesn't it? So what have I bought in? I bought Void Mirror Rod, Plow. I've cut a March so far. I'm tempted to cut some initiative guys. I'm going to go 2 White Plumes and 1 Seasoned Dungeoneer. So I've got 2 and 2 on the initiative threats. So it's less about killing them and more about ensuring I'm the only participant in the game, I think. This hand doesn't do anything. Yeah, it does factual nothing, right? So let's send that away. This hand has got turn 1 Rod and no other plays. I think turn 1 Rod and no other plays is going to be where I'm at. And I'll pitch a Peacekeeper, keep a Plow. Say done. This hand might not be keepable. But I think I pitched the Archon. Oh no, I pitched the Plow. What are we talking about? See you later, Plow. Play a Witch Enchanter. Roll out a Rod. Opponent mulligan to 5. I have a rod in play. Now the aim is to draw some lands. But that is a game plan I've employed a little too liberally today, I think. Draw some lands. So a bunch of stuff that currently has no text box. Opponent did mulligan to 5 this game. We ship it straight back. See, this was the problem with pitching the plow, right? Is if they suddenly just play a Mastercore here, they just go Workshop Mastercore. I don't have the plow. So maybe it was supposed to be Archon Conqueror. So 2 mana, makes a Sol Ring. Academy, that's 4 mana. PO for 3. Academy killing null rods since the late 90s. Cool. That's a Plains. I'll play it. I've already forgotten the cards I had. Manifold Key and something else. Sol Ring. So there's the Ancient Tomb. Time Vault. Manifold Key. Sink. So this is Sink and Kill. Yeah, great job. Maybe my hand wasn't good enough and I'm supposed to go to 5. I think this is a play pattern that I haven't done great with, is the amount of play some cards and pray for lands. Maybe I need to be more flush for mana in the openers when I'm assessing them. Anyway, next round. Okay, round 4 up against Hard FS. We're on the play, and I've got lands and I've got spells. This looks great. Let's keep this. Show them the chance of the annex. And then Pearl. Tomb. Sapphire. Archon. And the next turn is just Wasteland White Plume, and it's just a textbook mono white game. Just absolute textbook stuff here. See if opponent tells us what they're on. Nope, they concede. So a nice concession. It makes sideboarding harder. Do we just want to grab some plows, or do we just want to resubmit? I'm actually tempted to resubmit. I think I want to resubmit. So I don't... We can win against... maybe the Chalice can go and the Rod can come in. Something like that. Maybe the plow, just as a singleton hedge plow against, you know, all the varieties of bug, shops, dredge, things where I might want a plow. Okay, we've got a keeper. So we've got Chancellor, Pitch Chancellor, Ancient Tomb, Archon, or we've got turn 1 Witch Enchanter, or we've got turn 1 Void Mirror. Let's see. I've got a chance of the annex. My opponent does not. They don't have a Lurus either. They've got 6 cards in hand. Misty Rainforest. So, Oath of Druids it could be. Immediate fetch. Sends a Preordain my way, so it's a Doomsday deck. And then it's back to us. So they've broken the Chancellor to make space for the make space for the Force of Will. So I'm going to lead on Mox Emerald. And I'm going to cast Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox is in. So it's Exile Chancellor. Play an Ancient Tomb, cast Archon. If Archon gets forced, great, but we've played around days. So it's just in there. It's just done. It's just in play. So no Chancellor, no Force of Will. Oh, clearing a path to the Ancestral, sorry. Okay, this all makes sense now. Into a Scalding Tarn. And now... There is an Archon in play. I think if we put 2 Archons in play, that should be fun. This one might eat a Force of Will. It does. So that's my land, but I'm going to strip mine their Scalding Tarn. Pretty into that. And now we attack for 2. Pretty into that. And then it's back to me. And they've got no lands. So we can just play a Void Mirror, I guess. So that's arrived. In for 2. We've only got 1 lock piece. Well, I guess we've got the Void Mirror, so it's going to make their Doomsday path a bit harder. But with just 1 lock piece, they're like a Dismember away from killing me. Oh, White Plume's a phenomenal draw. Let's attack. And then we'll plume them. Maybe you're supposed to play Ancient Tomb for Force Will pitching Time Walk, but I have a Void Mirror. And we win the match. Nice. Force of Will pitching Time Walk is tough into the mirror, but yeah, I think there's a moment there where if they come up with a Dismember, there's a really clean avenue for them to kill us. But obviously, we had a fantastic hand, right? Chancellor into Archon Wasteland is really tough on just the whole format. So yeah, 2-2, final round. Okie dokie, final round, and we're up against 3PO, who is a friend of mine who I room with every year in at Eternal Weekend. So this is fun. Theo, very well known for getting negative records in tournament environments. So our hand doesn't do anything. I'm expecting Bug Lurus. Our hand doesn't do anything, so we're going to mulligan. And I think we keep this. We send back maybe one of the Archons or the Peacekeeper. That was just a jab, by the way. Theo's great. I'm going to keep this, and I think I send Peacekeeper back. I'm not sure. I mean, Peacekeeper really fucks on a frog, doesn't it? But let's say my Archon doesn't resolve. Then I want the other Archon. Is that true? Is that even true? I want the Peacekeeper. I've got to pitch one of these, though. Okay, so this doesn't matter, because the Peacekeeper or the second Archon are going under the kid, under the Chrome Mox. So yeah, Bug Lurus. So this is going to be Max Gilmore's list from Eternal Weekend, the top 8 there. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. Oh, Mox Pearl's cracked. Let's lead on Chrome Mox, see if he fancies a fight there. Doesn't. Do I want to pitch anything? I'm going to pitch my Peacekeeper. Am I going to pitch my Peacekeeper or am I going to pitch my Archon? Let's pitch a Peacekeeper. Let's cast a Mox Pearl. Look, pitch an Archon, cast a Mox Pearl. Cast a Mox Ruby. Says I don't remember the list off the top of my head, but there could be a Daze in here somewhere. Let's go Peacekeeper. Because we can turn off the guy if it's all rubbish. Wasteland, Ancestral. I mean, he can Ancestral next turn into Force of Will. So maybe I just name Deathrite Shaman and block that avenue out. No, I need to name... No, I'm just going to name Ancestral. There we go. So just name Ancestral. Because then he's got to fetch his Verdant, got to tap his lands, plays the Wasteland, wastes the Caracas. Do you top deck Collector Roof? Psychic Frog. Okay. 3 cards in hand. So we can't cast this Ancestral ever. Conversely, though, I can't really ever attack. I'm just going to strip them. The attack here is horrendous. I think. 3 cards in hand. Says the Verdant. Take to the skies. Bink me for 1, get a basic. I can't imagine there's a basic in their bug list. Yep, Frog's in the air. Brainstorm Ancestral in hand. Rolls out the Brainstorm now. I'm unsure why that's the case. Oh, maybe we've drawn our basic for the turn. If there's a basic, then that would make the Brainstorm make sense. Or you just know you're about to get the shuffle, so that also works. Okay, no, I like the Brainstorm. So we're about to get this initiative right. So even if we don't have a land in our deck to get, we're about to get the shuffle. Discards a Gitaxian Probe. Discards an Ancestral Recall. Sends. I take 3. They get a card and the initiative. Initiative first, so then we get the shuffle and our Brainstorm cards are good. And now they've got 2 cards in hand and we need to top deck a powerful spell. That's not one of them. So I'm not going to draw any more cards this turn. I think I still go Forge, right? I think I still demand. You come up with something. But I really like Lost Well as an idea. Lost Well looks for one of my 2 marches. Lost Well looks for one of my 2 marches. And then Forge just increases pressure on these 2 permanents. But these 2 permanents are small. Are these 2 permanents even going to do the job? I mean, he's got to attack back. He can't attack without the frog. Frog's going to be a very quick clock, though. I think I'm going to Lost Well and take a peek for next turn. What do I get after the Lost Well, though? Oh, how do I look? Oh, it's the worst. That's my sideboard. View dungeon information. Lost Well, I get Stash or Arena. They both seem really bad. Let's just forge up the White Plume here. And then I attack for 8 plus 5 is 13. But then block with Deathrite, eat my Wasteland, Fatal Push is tough as well. I can chump this to keep the initiative if he lets me. I can't imagine I'm going to be allowed. No, there we go. Into the air. Discards Collector Roof, which I love to see. Discards Black Lotus. No blocks, I take 5. also goes into the forge. They've got a 7/8 frog. They draw a card. Eats a wasteland. Floats a green. Plays a collector roof. Okay. The collector roof has to chump block though, right? But then I also die. Okay. Okay, so we will lose unless there's a major issue here. And there's no major issue. Trap you to 5, and then I take 7 plus 5 next turn. Okay, nice game. Interesting one. Maybe the Peacekeeper's always supposed to name the frog. Maybe the Peacekeeper's meant to name the frog. They don't care about Chalice. The Void Mirrors stop Force of Will only. But maybe that's perfect. Maybe it's not perfect. I don't like Void Mirror against Bug, and I'm going to drop a Peacekeeper as well. The Chancellors are still in my deck. That could be an issue. Chancellors are a really bad mid-game draw. Okay. Mana Crypt should get eaten by a force of some variety. But we'll throw it at them anyway. Mulligan to 6. Force negation pitching days, yeah. So Cavern on Dragon. Then it gets wastelanded, and I play Plains. Cavern on Dragon or Cavern on Archon. Both of them telegraph next turn. Or I just play Plains and assume that's their only force. I think I want to play Cavern. I think I'm happy with them wastelanding me. I think I want to name Dragon because that locks down Psychic Frog and Deathrite Shaman. Wasteland's fine, I think. Back to me. Anointed Peacekeeper. So let's play a Witch Enchanter. Because they might, if they can wasteland me again, they might be interested in that. They aren't. Can I wasteland you? I think so. Because I can still get to 3 mana in the future, right? Through basic planes, which is really good. Misty Rainforest. No fetch. I'm going to develop the Conqueror. So if we just assume that they're holding Psychic Frog plus something else. Fatal Push, Momentum Breaker, Psychic Frog will make sense. Maybe that's supposed to be a Peacekeeper. Undercity Sewers is the fetch. They get rid of a Mox Emerald. Tropical Island. Psychic Frog. Okay. So now we need to get our Peacekeepers in. Ooh. Let's go land Peacekeeper and see what removal they're working with. So that gets forced pitching Psychic Frog. And now we can pitch an Archon and kill their Psychic Frog. Good grief. Can't be less than 2 if X is currently 2. Set X or just done? What does that mean? Set X to override this discount cost. X is currently... Oh, kill me. I'm gonna press done. Sure. Did it work? Whew. Everyone's just gonna get fucking exam whilst playing mono white. Right. They did have the kill spell. It was a Soul Rend. Worst of all worlds. Let's keep the peace. Do you have the third frog? No. Assassin's Trophy, Boseiju. Sure, I'll just name Trophy then. I know how to spell Assassin, guys, don't worry. Assassin, there it is, Trophy at the bottom. Assassin's Trophy. Alright, you'll go. I've only got an Emerald in their bin at the moment. Probes my Chrome Mox. Plays the Boseiju, buys the Lurrus. Plays a Lotus. Buddy, can we not? Can we chill out? This wasn't ideal. Okay. They have a Lurrus. They're going to trophy my guy. I'm going to get a basic plane, so that's going to give me 5 mana. 6 mana if I draw a white source. At some point, I might be able to resolve this Chancellor of the Annex. There's the trophy. I say yes. Luckily, we don't have the initiative in play, otherwise this would be devastating. Redeploys Lotus. Has hardcast Force of Will available if they fancy it. 11 plays 13. Seasoned Dungeoneer. Sure, man. I'll season my dungeon. Okay, so a wee moment there where we don't run headfirst into the perfect top deck. Oh, no, sorry, I lied. That's game, right? Well, I'm glad I could demonstrate the power of the Eternal Weekend winning deck today. It's, come on, Theo. Oh, what a hero. Knight of Infamy. Our boy was not here to lose to Mono White today. Good games. We lose. Let's open chat and see what our friends got to say to us today. Oh, just good luck, good luck. GG's, dude. GG's. So, yeah, that was Mono White against Bug. Didn't seem particularly great for the home team. Especially not when on the Knight of Infamy Soul Rend technology. But that was fun. That was fun. I feel like there was a couple of turns in game 3 there where Theo drew quite well. But when your opponent's got as deep as Knight of Infamy, you know that they have definitely taken the time of day to think about this matchup, right? Like, and when you lose to cards which are quite direct against you, Knight of Infamy, Soul Rend, they're not here to fuck around. They're beating you. Yeah, so never mind. And then what else do we play against? Shops. I felt like Shops. There was definitely throughout the league, not just against Bergamo, times I probably misnamed off of Peacekeeper. We lost to Jewel Shops on potentially a misname. And like there's those few rounds where it's like, I do this, this, and this. And then neither player does anything. And I'm hoping I draw lands. Which might be a perfectly acceptable way to play this deck. But when you've locked down the board and 11 of your 31 mana sources are artifacts, you don't have quite as many outs as you would like, right? So you know, so maybe those lines were played poorly. I named a lot of Moxen with Peacekeepers, and maybe I'm just supposed to be naming payoffs, not Moxen. So yeah, no. It's always a fun deck to go out and jam, though. It's just quite nice, a little bit different. You lose to different hates. That's a nice change of pace. Congrats to Jeremy for shipping Eternal Weekend with this exact list. I'm glad I could replicate the power of the deck. So, thanks for watching. See you again soon. Adios. Take care. Bye.